So, getting started. Previously, the group of you have traveled to the northern reaches of your side of the continent, to the Verdant Locks, which is northwest of the Garden Steppe. During this travel, the group of you have stopped through Fellhold Refuge and learned from a patron of the Order of the Iron Fang, an entity very much not humanoid and quite alien to the touch of your minds based on how you received some information. Nonetheless, you learned a little bit of the entities trying to influence Aquan and the risk of opening these hinges, as you and others have now been doing. Traveling to the Verdant Locks, you are in search of a certain item for the cleric of your group, Teng. She's been relatively circuitous in the reasoning of it, but it sounds to be some type of flower. Upon entering the region of the locks, you had been traveling through what appeared to be open plains until, quite suddenly, some type of glamour, some barrier that you had passed through fell away, and present before you was towering, massive trees of gargantuan scale and proportion, dwarfing anything the like of which you've seen previously. Vines and flowers wrapped around the trunks, the bushes overflowing in sizes greater than any of you. A single trail was seemingly cut through with, and at one point in ancient times had likely been, had stones put down to create a semi-permanent road through the space. It is broken here and there, and only a few arm spans wide, but it's enough to travel comfortably within the locks. Along this travel, every now and then you do need to trailblaze through a broken section, and you happened upon a grove of these interesting looking plants, and upon entering this grove, the group of you heard sounds from the wood around you, and you were ambushed by what looked to be a party of goblinoids. Upon this ambush, the plants themselves, disturbed by the motion and caution of the group, also assailed you. The goblinoids had stalked and waited for their opportunity when you would be otherwise distracted to try to make their play. Fortunately, the group of you were able to fend off not just the plants, but also the goblinoid host. Unfortunately, one of their number did escape into the trees, and at this point is likely far beyond your reach, lest you risk significant danger in getting lost in these gardens. And at the end of this battle is where we are picking up. The day is yours. What would you like to do?
Pop, where are you? Ran away?
It had half scrambled over a tree trunk, and it was sort of like stranded on the tree trunk because it was quite large, but it sort of wiggles around and watches you.
Get here. Get over here. I need a hand.
It jumps down from the 12-foot thick tree trunk that's on the ground and licks your face.
Bleeding out of every hole that has been punched through.
Seeing how messed up Dunnan is and how wounded I am and Ellie is, perhaps we should take a short rest before we keep going.
Bring me some ale. After that, I need some alcohol. Did we get everybody, or did something get away?
I think one got away. But
Oh crap.
hopefully it spreads the
That-
news. Not to fuck with us.
I don't know. Or they think it's a challenge now. Well, we shouldn't
yeah.
worry about it now. Let's rest.
Yeah,
And sit down and slumps down.
this place is the best as any, I guess, as long as we see the trail.
Yeah.
Taking a short rest.
Yep.
Trying to.
Yeah.
All right. Siegfried, roll me a d8. There you go. About an hour passes. The group of you do complete a short rest. You can go ahead and spend hit dice and recover your cooldowns.
How can I roll more than one? Oh boy.
It's one of the settings on the sheet. I don't recall which one.
5. 15.
I am up to full health now.
That's good.
2 quarters there. Just gonna lay on hands for 20 hit points. Now I'm good.
Do I get wild shapes back on short rests? I
You
can't
do.
remember.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
I only know because I'm preparing to play a druid.
Druids are so fun. Yeah, I think wild shapes are the only things I get back besides my health. Okay,
Should be, yeah.
cool.
I should press the short rest button. See if anytime comes back for me. I don't think so. Well, we ready? I'm good as new.
Yeah, I mean, still seems like we have a lot of walking to do.
Yeah. Hope we don't get ambushed again. And remind me, Spencer, that was like mushrooms or fungi big.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
they were large violet bell-like flowers. The oh, I have a handout for it. I don't. Okay. I'll just put a snip in a campfire.
Yeah, I think there was a token, but I don't think there was a handout.
There you go. That's what it looks like.
Ooh.
I look over at yours, so we all know you. Did you already get your ingredients? And I point over to the fungi.
As Aeolus catches up to you guys, huffing and puffing from his circuitous path that he had taken.
What? You said samples? I'll take samples.
Over there.
How many vials do you have left?
I have empty. I think I have one.
Okay.
Oh, then make it rather quick. We got a long
No,
way to go.
never mind. I do not have any empty.
Even better for us.
That's fine.
All right.
Alright.
Or
Alright, Siegfried, lead the way.
the latter half of the day. Siegfried's leading.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Siegfried, roll me two D100s, please.
Is this Is this a time I should use that macro on my sheet too for mapping, or is that a
No,
different
that's
time?
not. That's not for that.
Okay. All right.
That's whenever you're traveling over land that you can see a distance for you to add to your map. 76 and 60. Alright, I need you to roll me a d4 and 3d10. Okay.
Dragon and minions.
Alright, awesome. The day proceeds without significant incident until you're maybe about an hour from dusk based on your approximations. The ground that you're traveling along turns significantly whiter and feels like chalky underfoot. I'd like anyone who is trained in nature to make a nature check.
Yep.
Both of you actually recognize the ground is covered in dried guano. A vast amount is covering the ground along this space.
We probably don't want to camp here. Who knows when these poopers will come back.
Make a perception check, Siegfried.
Hell out of here.
Why not? What
can
is
you
wrong?
say? Maybe they're as pooped as us.
13. I mean, you recognize
Can
that
we-
bats are semi-nocturnal and they are active during dusk.
Oh, that's true. That makes sense. Well, I guess if they're bats,
In about an hour from now, at most.
yeah.
You don't know how
They're
far
bad.
along this stretches along the path.
Yeah. So I guess we just travel as much as we can before we have to rest, and then hopefully these bats don't bother us at night. But we may
Okay.
need to escape quickly in the morning.
So you
Alright.
guys are hurrying at a fast pace along the trail?
That's what Secret suggests.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
As fast
Alright,
as
sounds
possible,
good.
yeah.
Roll me a d20, Siegfried.
I'll hop on the pub for that.
Noted. Okay. Okay. Going along the trail, you make a decent bit of noise. The ground itself is chalky and white and easy to walk on, relatively. But the hustle and the bustle of your packs and the armor and stuff, it does make a little bit of a clattering as you're going. And
Do I notice the clattering?
you do,
Is that-
but you're moving at a quick pace. About 20 to 30 minutes in, there seems to be no change in this trail. You do find off to the side of the trail a small, somewhat cleared area that looks like the ground itself has been scorched or burnt by campfires over time, to the point that probably nothing grows in this patch. It's not white like the trail itself. Tucked to one side of this small clearing, more than about 10 feet square, is a series of large crates, about 3 of them. None so large that you would need a wagon to transport, but likely large enough that no more than 2 would fit on a sturdy pack mule. And they have a faint verdigris of moss sort of creeping over the edge of them, that's grown from the jungle and forest on the outskirts of this clearing, upon against which they are sort of tucked. But it looks like this might have been a small campsite at one point.
From where I'm standing, does it look like this camp had been attacked or just abandoned?
You see no indications of any type of like raid or anything like that.
Okay.
At first
It's
glance.
an old site. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we may have found a place we could camp.
Hmm.
Aeolus and Dunnan, I guess maybe just look out for signs of battle. You too, Helly.
Yeah.
If we find any of those strange arrowheads, you know.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
true.
And then yeah, I guess I'd get closer and try to check out those crates.
Okay. The crates are relatively easy to sort of pry open. Within the first one, there's wrapped in waxed fabric, various bits of hardtack and rations. To your somewhat experienced eye, it looks like most of it might have been spoiled, but there are 7 days worth of rations that would be good enough for the group to be able to imbibe. Everything else has a growth of some sort on it that you're not quite sure about. So 7 days worth of party rations. Someone wants to add that to the sheet.
Yep. I will add that to the party loot.
Okay. The second crate that you shift, you hear the sloshing of a liquid within. As you
Man's ears get bigger if you when you're here when he hears that.
opening it up, there's clearly cracked glass within this. It looks like some of whatever was within it at one point has cracked from travel or something over time. There were places for multiple flasks to be sort of stored and carefully packed with padded straw and hay around it to help cushion impacts, but they were unsuccessful. There is one still intact. You recognize what this is. It looks to be a healing potion of supreme quality.
Yeah, I just told Dunnan to hold on to that.
Dan is disappointed. Ah, shit, a small tear. I was hopeful for a moment there. Well, I'll take it anyway. Thank you very much, Siegfried.
Yeah, and that's the 10d4 plus 20. That is a remarkably powerful healing potion that you recognize.
Yeah, Supreme ones are very expensive, right?
You've never been able to buy one.
Yeah. Like they're like thousands of gold. I don't think.
Calipix
Any
never sold
way to-
one. As
Yeah.
far as you know.
Are there any markings on these crates or like the tents? Any idea of what this expedition might have been part of?
Make an investigation check for me.
I'll ask Aeolus to help me out too, but I'll make the roll.
Aeolus can also make a check.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
While Siegfried investigates, I would just mention, why would somebody just leave that stuff here? And I
Yeah.
sloshed the potion. This is very expensive, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know they made potions like this in Droucia.
Aeolus, taking a look at the crates, there does not appear to be any markings on immediate glance, but as you sort of you think you might see something, and you scrape away some of the moss, and you find Orcish lettering. You speak Orcish now, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay. As you scrape away more of what's present, and you're able to sort of get a bit more of a feel, it seems to be the name of some type of company or some type of trader. It means nothing to you in the common tongue, which leads you to the belief that it is a name in the Orcish language.
I'm gonna call Hellerast over to see if she recognizes the name, or anyone else that I know who speaks Orcish.
Taking a glance at it, none of you recognize who this individual or group of individuals is, and the name doesn't translate into the common tongue. At least in so far as you are understanding.
Because it's just a proper noun, right?
Correct,
It's just a
yeah.
name.
Yeah. And the pronunciation is clearly of the Orcish language as well. You've never heard of any type of trader or company like this as well. You know you're from a small cloister of Aquan and Droucia, but most trade across the continent goes in and out of places, and you would have come across something like this. Or at least heard of something in your time and travel. Helleras, you would recognize, typically, the ODMC is one of the, if not the most successful trade group. And as such, a lot of your kinfolk don't participate in significant overland or oversea trade. It's a thorn in your side. It doesn't make sense why this would be here, or what this is.
Yeah.
Siegfried, as you continue to open the crates, the third one is actually containers within a container. Tucked inside the crate and carefully padded are two small casks. And to much to Dunnan's dismay, they are of fresh water.
What a waste.
The way these are, I wonder if these guys are still around. It seems to me, how long has it been since that fire's been lit?
It's been a while, right? There's moss growing on things.
There's moss growing on things. But it looks like this land was sort of blighted of life at one point, such that even the verdant locks have had difficulty starting to reclaim it. Moss is starting to creep into the area, but you're not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Make me a nature check, Hellerast.
Okay.
Could I also help Helly?
You can make a check of your own.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
There like a marking on the crates we could take a sketch of.
It's not a marking, no. It's just
Yeah.
this Orcish name.
It's just that the water is still fresh. It hasn't gone brackish, has it?
No, it's been safely sealed within these
Still fresh
casks.
water.
Yeah. Racking your brain, you don't know of what could have blighted all of the life within this circle. Fire itself wouldn't have done it. This space, this small clearing, was clearly made in such a way that it would not be encroached upon for probably decades, in the slightest, as opposed to anywhere else within the locks, based on the size and scale of the floor in the space, likely encroaches on any available real estate quite quickly.
This
Your
seems like
suspicion is there was some degree of magic involved in this at some point. That has only recently started to fade for allowing the moss to start creeping in over these crates.
And even there's no tree trunks, there's no trees, there's just
It is
completely empty.
barren dirt.
Wow.
There are scorch marks on the barren dirt here and there from what was likely campfires. Helleras, you rolled high enough. Make an Arcana check as well, please. Yes, Siegfried?
I just wanted to cast Detect Magic.
Okay, go ahead. Spell? Spell level?
Yeah, I'm just level 1.
Okay. I mean spell slot, correct?
Oh yeah, spell slot. Yeah, I'm just gonna use
Okay.
it right now.
Roll me a d100.
Yes.
84. Spell functions normally. You're good. As you remember, there's wild magic within this space. Hellerast.
Yep.
Tang has mentioned it a couple times. And you don't know if it would apply to a space. She's mentioned it in regards to Aeolus's body, which she's sure she will have to handle at some point, or Dunnan's body, which she is also sure she will likely have to handle at some point, is gentle repose, something that preserves the state of a corpse for the purpose of later attempting resurrection. She's mentioned it a few times, though. Now, you don't know enough about that specifically, and it comes to your mind when you're thinking of what could preserve this space in this state of basically death, likely down to the smallest organisms and even in the dirt, to prevent things from growing here. So it feels like this place was, up until recently, preserved by magic in some way. Siegfried, as you intone the components for detect magic, you feel this wave of the weave sort of pass through you for a moment, potentially upsetting the spellcraft, but you roll along with it and it passes you over. As the spell comes to fruition and takes effect, the spark alighting in your eyes, you see nothing of incredible note other than that which you expect. It looks like the crates and barrels have a very, very small bit of enchantment upon them, notably of abjuration. Likely something that helped prevent, or at least forestall, some degree of aging on the contents of them. But even that is weak and fading. But
Yep.
nothing else strikes your senses.
Well, basically the idea is that, like, because of all the enchantments, it's very difficult to tell how long everything's been here.
Do you have expertise in Arcana or no?
No, I'm not trained in Arcana at all.
Okay, yeah.
So I would not
You're
know.
not sure how long enchantments of
Yeah.
this strength would last. So it's tough to tell.
So yeah, I'll tell that to Helly. I'm not too trained in the arcane, but I honestly can't tell when these enchantments were cast, and
Yeah.
all I can see is that they're currently fading. So they're at the very end of the duration whenever it was cast.
Okay.
And also,
This
we may
place
want to.
makes me nervous.
Yeah, but it's probably the best place to camp for us right now. I don't want to deal with more more mushrooms and goblins. Also, I have a way to keep us hidden, hopefully. Also, we
That'd be
may want
cool.
to. We also may want to hold on to those barrels because they're enchanted. Probably the reason why that water isn't brackish.
Oh yeah, I was already planning. The fact that they brought water in tells me the water around here is no good.
I have a way. I may make sure to create or destroy water, but I'll make sure to also prepare that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Settling in for a rest?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
before we take a rest, I am going to try and cast a spell, and hopefully the wild magic doesn't fuck me. So I am going to try and cast hallucinatory terrain around the campsite.
Okay. So what are
And
you
just
doing?
and I just want to make it look like it's just this area of growth. Like it's not
Another stretch of
just
the
another
forest.
stretch of forest. Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a d100.
Ooh, I think that fails.
36. Your spell slot is wasted. There is no effect.
Okay. I'm gonna try it one more time.
Certainly.
I'll say it to the party. If this doesn't work, we're gonna need to figure out something else because this is my last spell slot for this.
Alright.
You have to do it the old-fashioned way then.
Yeah. So here we go. So let me mark it. I have one level 33 slot left.
You don't have
Yes,
to
that-
click it again. Just roll
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah. No, I didn't. It's by accident. No, that fails probably.
Ah.
Well,
We're screwed.
As you intone the spell, you feel the magic leave you, and the wash of the weave, sort of crest over you, and it upsets the magic in a way that you weren't expecting. You feel the spell take hold in the environment, but you still are standing in the open clearing. About what you suspect is 30 feet above your heads is the base of plants and trees that should have been on the ground level. The spell has affected an area to make it look like natural growth, but the natural growth is floating 30 feet in the air above your heads.
Oh.
Well, that's the
I
best.
guess
I just dispel it. I'm just like, well, fuck. That's
this area doesn't like your magic, I guess.
Nope.
At least we'll be protected from overhead.
Sure, but should I drop it or just keep it?
You can't drop it. It's not
there, right?
concentration. It's there.
Oh yeah, that's
24
true.
out there.
Additionally, roll me a stealth check. As these have 10-minute casting times. Your casting is not terribly quiet.
No.
As you're sort of glancing at this, all of you hear the chittering of bats in the vicinity, and the rustling of branches and leaves shifting. Dusk has fallen properly by this point with these two times of casting. And the creators of the trail of guano you've been following have awoken.
Oh crap. Do we all hear that, or is it
Yeah,
just...
all of you hear it.
Well, we better get ready for some company, I guess.
Ellie pulls out the Spellfire short bow.
Can I grab a small pebble from my bag? And I want to create a high-pitched noise on the pebble. And I'm going to launch it away from the group.
Okay, make me a dexterity check. Alright, so you try to aim in between some of these trees. Are you going out of the area across the trail, or out of the area away from the trail?
I'm going to aim away from the trail.
Away from the trail, into the forest behind you. So
Yes.
you see the trail, turn around, do an about face, launch it, trying to sort of weave it in between the trunks and branches of trees. You probably get about 20 feet, and then it strikes a cross branch and just beams downwards. Very, very high-pitched noise is just whirring out there in the forest. Well within earshot of you. Now it's just an annoying sort of buzz to you.
Hopefully that draws their attention.
That was good thinking there, Aeolus.
Yeah, I just wish I could throw further.
Well, leave the throwing to me next time, and I'll just present my massive arms.
About 5 minutes pass as this sound grows ever louder. Not Aeolus's thing. The sound of these bats and leathery wings shifting and flapping and taking wing, and the high-pitched chittering and chirping of these creatures. And quite suddenly, that it startles all of you for a brief moment. There's this creaking of branches near the small gap that is the entrance to this clearing. And hanging with the wings outstretched from one tree to the next that flank the entrance to this space, a gargantuan bat. A wingspan of easily 7 feet across the space, about 20 feet high, is sort of just looking down at the group of you with massive eyes, and the ears are at least twice the size of the rest of its head, and they're both oriented towards the group of you. One of them flicks up and shifts, and Aeolus, you gather, is probably listening toward the sound of the rock that you made in the distance. Do any of you do anything in this immediate moment?
I just look over at the others, not saying a word.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the bat.
For
not
Mark,
saying
like,
anything.
so be as silent as possible.
Okay, make a stealth check for me, with advantage.
So straight roll for me.
Okay.
Sweet.
Trying to be as quiet as possible and not shift anything as you sort of try to move your arms away from your body so nothing sort of touches anything, very slowly and deliberately. You feel the hammer shift slightly and clang against the piece of a gear on your leg and make an audible noise. You freeze, tense for a moment. One of the ears shifts towards you. The head then follows it as the ear automatically adjusts. It looks like the ear doesn't move as the head shifts underneath it, continuing to focus on you. The mouth opens, and no sound that any of you pick up comes out. The pup whines slightly.
Oh, shite. I'll reach for my hammer.
A few moments pass. You have the hammer in your hand. The wings, the small hooks on the wings unhook from the bark of the tree to one side, and with a series of powerful flaps, startles you. Even though you're looking at it, you feel the reverberation of the air upon your faces for a brief moment. The bat flaps and is gone along the trail. And as you very carefully sort of gaze out and look at it, you see this is not one bat. There are hundreds of these massive individuals flitting along the trail in this space, hunting, eating.
And slowly exhales. Do you see that? There were hundreds of them. Saying it as quietly as possible, not like shouting or something.
Well, I guess doesn't seem like they consider us prey, at least yet.
What does it mean? You think and Dan smells at its at his armpits. Are we smelly?
No, but I mean, generally, predatory creatures have to estimate that the reward for the hunt will be greater than any risk of injury.
Oh, I mean we are too dangerous for them to hunt.
Or they just don't know enough about us yet. That enough makes us dangerous, you know?
Well,
I like that idea.
let's hope they don't find out too soon that we are not dangerous for them and they consider us food.
I think best we can do is just keep double watch tonight, because no matter if we stay here or go down the trail or try and go in the forest, they have better sight, they have better hearing, they have better mobility than us. We're in their territory.
So we
The best
shouldn't
we
light the fire.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the fire will keep them away but attract someone else.
Does
Who knows?
Does Dannen know that bats usually don't rely on sight more than
You
they
can
use
nature
their...
check.
Oh boy.
Well,
Mhm.
I can always make a fire hole as well.
Got a -1 on nature. Sweet.
I don't know. It was looking at you, Dunn. They probably
Mm.
need to see you.
Also, these are
Oh.
very obviously not our standard bats, so I'm not sure our regular assumptions apply. But maybe we should definitely keep double watch, and if we're making a fire, just try to keep the light down.
Well, at least it won't see it from above, right? And I point to the illusion over our heads.
I have no idea.
Which is really weird to look up at it, because you're looking up at sort of this flat base of plants. That's just floating in midair. It's like a texture of a game gone wrong.
Let's just hope it's good for something.
I didn't know we were in a Bethesda game.
Okay, you all settle in for
Well,
a long rest?
I'll go first for the watch. Who's gonna
Okay.
join me?
I'll take a last watch when it gets a little bit brighter. Because right now I don't think Siegfried can see, right?
It's getting to
Beyond
that
the
point. Yeah.
Well, let me see. I'm gonna try and cast Dark Vision on myself.
Sure, roll me a D100.
Yeah.
Do we have any
You're good.
goggles or eye coverings on us?
What?
No.
Do we have anything that, like, resembles goggles or eye
I don't think so.
coverings?
Well,
Okay.
Haley has a neat little eye patch, I think, but that's it.
Yeah.
Why do you ask that? Curious.
I
Just-
remember you asking in the monastery, and they did not have any there.
Just wanted to work on something. Conan, I'll take watch with you. May I borrow the bag over our watch?
What?
The bag of holding?
I don't think I have it. I think... Who has it?
Siegfried has it.
Yeah, I
Oh.
have it. Yep.
Oh.
I hand it over to him.
Okay.
All right.
Shut up,
Well,
man. I squint
Wake
my
me-
eyes a little bit at the others.
wake me up if anything happens. I'll take second watch or whatever watch you need.
Sure. Oh.
Me and Helly, I guess, can take second watch.
Okay. So, Denon, you're taking first?
Yeah, me and the others.
Okay. Siegfried and Hellas, I'd like you to roll both will make Constitution saves.
Do they get the +5 from me?
Let's say yeah. Both rolled high enough anyway, though. The first hour of your watch, Dunnan and Aeolus, while Hellas and Siegfried, the two of you are bedding down, is still filled with the same cacophony of bats. It's difficult to sort of force yourself to close your eyes and try to relax and try to get to sleep, but you are able to do so eventually. The watch does not need to be extended. The rest does not need to be extended additionally because of this. Eventually, the watch passes. After the two of you, who's taking next?
Yep. After the two of us, I think we would just keep. I'm not sure how it would work with the four of us.
I think you would just do like 4 hours watch and then just switch and then 2 hours for third watch. Would that work?
Aeolus will volunteer to stay up.
No,
he
you
has-
need sleep as well.
Yes,
Don't-
but I have a certain few things I have to work on.
Additionally, if Aeolus just takes a 4-hour initial watch, he just then has to sleep for 6 hours, meaning the first couple hours of someone else being finished sleeping for the day is Aeolus finishing up. So you just have a slightly shorter day tomorrow.
Okay.
So
me and Helly have to make perception rolls for the second watch, or
no.
Okay.
You guys are in a fairly dense space.
yeah.
Um,
I don't think we can see anything.
Going off your
anyway.
passives at this point. Yeah, you're not. Try as you might, you're not actively searching more than about 15 feet radius from your campsite.
Yep.
The space here is dense, and you basically put a lid on yourselves, so you can't even see up. And things that are up can't see down, so it's a trade-off. Watches pass quietly. Taking third watch would be Hellerest.
Yep.
Before you wake Hellerest, Aeolus, is there anything in particular you wanted to do once you are alone and done and is sleeping as well?
Aeolus is going to take his backpack off.
Okay.
And he's going to take the bag of holding. And he's going to draw a long cut along his arm. And he's going to begin to inscribe runes using his tinker tools on his bag. And you'll see a brief, or if anyone was awake, you'd see a brief flash of dark crimson energy as Aeolus opens his bag up, takes his katana and slides it into the bag, much like the bag of holding.
Yeah.
And he pulls it back out, just goes, "It's one down. Awesome." And that's it.
Harassed, Aeolus rouses you for your watch, which passes in relative quiet. The forest is active still during the evening. You hear the sounds of insects constantly buzzing, flitting about and calling to each other. The rustle of the treetops hundreds of feet above your head, slowly swaying with whatever breezes reach up to those lofty heights. Anything particular in your watch? You muted.
Not in particular, just nervous about everything and really trying to pay attention.
Yeah. Which is hard to do with one good eye.
It is.
As your watch comes to a conclusion and you rouse Siegfried for his, the forest floor is still wildly dark, Siegfried. Although you are benefiting from your dark vision during this time still. Because you've not yet completed your long rest. As you sort of gaze out at your companion sleeping, your watch does pass quietly and uneventfully. So that concludes. All of you are able to complete a long rest. As
Nice.
the first 2 hours of the day are you guys sort of waiting for Aeolus to wake up. So you have less travel, or less exploration you will be able to do for this day. But you do complete a long rest.
Alright, Theolas, come on, rise and shine.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Need a help, old man? I offer my arm.
If we come across anything that we want to bring back into town and try to sell, I managed to replicate our bag of holding.
Oh, that's what you were tinkering.
That's astonishing, Aeolus. I didn't know you had that skill. You know, you can make a lot of money doing that.
It doesn't work like that. These are temporary, like my mutagens.
Ah, I see.
But
Your blood can do that? It can make a bag of holding?
You see a
I've
gash
been-
about the size of a short sword on his arm.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
I've been researching, trying to think of more apply my natural abilities.
That's... If you can expand upon it, I honestly... The applications could be endless, Aeolus.
I hope so.
Just don't lose too much blood, okay?
Of course.
So yeah, I assume we got a successful long rest?
Yes.
Okay. So let me just update all my stuff.
Well, thank you. And roll me 2 more D100, please. Alright. 1 moment, please. Roll 1 more as well. Ooh, okay. Let's do our mid-session break here, as well,
Okay.
as you get ready for the day itself. And we'll pick up in a little bit, about 8 minutes, let's say.
I'm probably gonna be a little bit late. I just need to run out and do a quick thing, but I'll be back.
Okay, sounds good. All right,
Thank you.
We'll break back in a few.
See you.
getting back into it. The group of you are awake. You recall the direction that you were traveling along the Guano path the afternoon / early evening previous. The day is yours.
Yeah, I think the only thing we can do is keep going down the path.
Yep.
You can always trailblaze if you want.
No, not
Don't
with
think
all
that's
those
a smart
fucking paths
idea.
around.
I mean, you could, but certainly not a wise decision.
Siegfried, as we travel, I'd like you to make me an intelligence check with your cartographer's tools as a proficiency. As well. Just, I would say that you probably at least have the wherewithal to be able to do this.
Sorry, I was muted. I didn't mean to do that. Is a check with a tool considered a skill check?
It is, yes.
Is it something I can use the blessing of the trials on? I can gain advantage on a skill check or saving throw or attack roll related to survival, nature, or interacting with plants and animals.
I would say yes.
Okay.
No.
So I'm gonna try and do it with the blessings of the trials this time.
Okay, noted. So you have the advantage. You get that back on long rest.
Yeah. So intelligence, we gotta take advantage on. That's still not that great. Yep, only a 10.
All right. Sorry, finishing my bagel. The DC wasn't terribly high. You're not quite sure to what extent this is happening, but something that you have noticed is the amount of sort of miles that you have put underfoot carefully traversing the forest, even though you have a fairly well-established path. It is incredibly twisting and winding and inefficient. You haven't met a crossroads where it has truly doubled back on itself, but you have a suspicion that there might be another leg of this path no more than a few stones throw from where you are presently. That could be a day's journey away following the path, with how much this sort of twists and doubles back and loops around. You know that the path is present, you know that you're changing direction constantly on all of these twists and turns, and that's why the DC is lower, is because you have a pretty solid idea of a northern orientation in general. But this is a wildly convoluted trail. That said, the other side of that is you are chagrined to jump part of the trail and try to find another branch of it, or another leg or part of it that could be days ahead of time, and then you miss what you're searching for. So you recognize that Siegfried recognizes that there's this sort of duality of efficiency versus effectiveness.
Yeah.
No.
I let the party know all that. I'm sure they see me take out my charts and cartographer's tools, and I just let them know. So
Yeah.
if we follow this path, it's gonna take a very, very long time to get to where we're going to.
Yeah. But it's
it
also
is
the
probably-
only way to be sure that you've actually covered everything.
But yeah, it's probably the most efficient and safe way to our destination. Or we could potentially try to make cuts, find other paths, but that'll involve hiking through the woods, perhaps for a day or so. And normally I think I would be okay with that, but currently my magic isn't working that properly. So my vote is, I guess, to keep following the path, but I wanted to discuss it with you as well. And I
I'm
present my case to Dunn and Naelis and Ellie.
well. I'm fine with whatever. I mean, do you think that going along the path might be easier for traveling,
Oh, most
since
definitely.
it's all of already been cleared out and we don't really know what's, I don't know, in the wildlife around here?
Oh yeah, but the issue I'm bringing up is that this path is extremely winding. It's looping around. It's not going in one direction. It's honestly, we've gone in a bit of a spiral at this point.
Mhm.
So the path is probably leading to where we're going. It's just going to be a while.
Why does somebody make a path that's looping?
Well, this path was made by animals, not people, so I
Hmm.
imagine it's whatever migratory route some group of
Hmm.
creatures are using. In the plains, it's usually those herds. The herds of animals will often make pathways through the grassland.
I see.
So I imagine it's something similar to this.
I have full confidence that you'll be able to get us to where we need to go. So whatever you feel more comfortable with.
Absolutely.
Right then, I say we stay on the path.
Okay.
And I mean, they did tell us that this is a garden, and I've never known a gardener that liked people going off their paths, you know?
This is very true. They often get really pissed when you do.
Exactly.
Which means I can't take any samples. If you see me try to take samples, smack me.
I'm sure whatever you're taking the sample of will smack you long
With
before.
pleasure, Jonas.
With your head. Hammer.
Oh, just a little bit with the hammer.
So yeah, if everyone's in agreement, I will start helping pack up and then start moving down the trail.
Okay. I'd like to roll me a d6, please. Anyone? Who does it first?
I'll let someone else do it since I've done all the D100 rolls.
I'll
Yeah.
do it. Oh no.
I
Okay,
did it.
5. All right. First part of the morning passes in relative efficiency. Ugh, words are hard today, apparently. The hours pass in the fashion as you choose to spend them, with distance falling away underfoot. True to Siegfried's word, the path is widening, and you swear you're about to intersect some other part of the Guano Trail after the first hour, but you do not. And the path of the white chalky substance does fade after that point. Based on your estimation of the amount of time you're traveling the day before, at least time-wise, it took you about 2 hours to get through this sort of patch of guano, which is also staggering to a lot of you based on the size of the bats that you saw. Afternoon.
Based off like the size of the patch and what we saw yesterday, could I try to make like a nature check to see what the size of this colony might actually be?
You can try. DC might
Okay.
be high, but you can try.
Yeah. I will definitely try. And this is just conjecture on what I know about bats in real life. Oh, it's only a 6. So I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's tough to tell. The size, you don't know how much each of them produces, or how long the colony's been here, if they're moving along the trail bit by bit. There's a lot of different factors that you sort of think of, and You realize that you would need answers to at least some of these factors before you could hazard a guess that you'd feel confident about.
Okay.
Afternoon comes and goes. You eat rations, some trail rations, probably while walking, just trying to get a little bit of progress thanks to Aeolus's late start. Late afternoon comes, and actually, I believe it'd be Hellerast. Usually takes something closer to the rear of the party.
Yeah.
You hear a sound coming from a patch of forest off the trail. It's not a language which you speak, but you feel like you should know it. Because you speak Common, Orcish, and Infernal, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. You do not...
Oh, also dwarf.
Oh, and it is not dwarfish either.
Okay.
You feel like you should recognize this language, but nonetheless you do not. It's this sing-songy, melodic sort of tone that catches your ear. And it's interspersed with sounds that the sounds of the forest around that sort of cut patches of this talking, for lieu of a better word, that sort of overpower it slightly. It sounds like rustling leaves and branches creaking and things like that. But you do hear this melodic sort of sing-songy type of voice carrying and cutting through parts of the natural sounds of the forest off to your right-hand side.
Okay. I mention it to the group, see if they hear it too, or if I'm just hearing weird
Everyone
voices.
can make perception checks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
At her prompting, and all of you stop sort of plodding along, making a fair bit of noise, and let the sounds of the forest wash over for a moment. And then you also hear the sound of this voice sort of cutting through everything here and there for a moment. It's still drowned out by the sounds of the forest here and there, but overwhelmingly it's relatively easy to be heard.
None of us understand the language, correct?
None of you speak Sylvan, so no.
Okay. I would like to attempt to cast Comprehend Languages.
Certainly, roll me D100.
64.
64. Spell functions normally. You're good.
Okay.
There's this, as the wave of magic sort of washes over you and coalesces upon your ears, carefully filtering the words through their magical means. The language shifts into the common tongue that you would recognize. And there's still this element of this sing-songiness. It's the best way that I could describe it. It's like when you're watching like an interview of someone speaking a different language, and then their voice is lowered in volume, and then the voiceover of the translation takes precedence. You can still hear the original source very faintly behind everything, and then in the exact same voice, there's this more powerful and more auditory voiceover that's translating everything into for you to understand comfortably. You have no business in this part of the forest. It is our domain, and I understand you are on patrol, but it is not your presence to be here. You don't hear any response. I understand you believe there to be intruders in this sector, but that is our concern, not yours. Second
Siegfried just holds
voice,
up.
very
Just-
close to the original one, chimes in. And if there were intruders in your sector, would we interfere with them? No, it would be on to you. What are you saying, Siegfried?
Oh no, I was just gonna raise my hand to the party and tell them to stop while I'm like listening to what's being talked about.
Oh yeah.
It seems important.
Very well,
Do
you
they-
may proceed. You raise valid points. I warn you not to cause problems in our sector, but rather observe and report, and we shall have an arrangement. If they wander into your sector, by all means, you are more than welcome to assail. You're hearing part of a conversation. You're not sure why you're not hearing the other individual involved in this conversation, Sacred. There's no sound other than what at this point you've gathered is two different of these somewhat feminine voices.
Mhm. Okay.
You gather they're maybe about 60, 70 feet from you.
Yeah, I don't want to disturb them because it seems like this is some sort of like war council. I don't want to just barge in on it, but I'll start relaying to Helly and Dunnan the
Sounds like they're talking about us anyway. Like deciding
are.
our fate.
They are, but the sing-songy voice seems to just want to observe us. They said as long as we're in their sector, the other party is not allowed to harass us.
Oh,
Merely
yeah.
observing
Okay.
us.
They're trailing us and just watching?
Well, I think we've crossed into the kingdom or territory of a group, of multiple groups. It seems like one voice controls this area, and then another voice controls. Well, the voice I didn't hear, the other. There was a conversation, but I only heard one person talking, so I have no idea how the other one was communicating. But apparently, the other person in the conversation controlled another area, and they were concerned about us interloping. While the sing-songy voice said that they understood the concerns, but currently we were in their territory, and all they wanted to do was to observe us. So at least for now, they just seem to be observing us. So I suggest we try and be as respectful as we can, because this is no longer a forest. We're in possibly a town, a city, a kingdom.
Well, then there must be some hold, or right? I mean, if there is people around.
Probably, maybe, but they're probably trying to determine whether or not they can reveal themselves to us or not, and whether or not if they reveal themselves, as a result, they'll have to kill us or not as well. And it doesn't seem like it's a homogenous society. It seems like there are at least two different factions who want two different things, and who speak differently as well. So it seems like this area,
Hmm.
whatever governing body that controls these territories, seems to be quite cosmopolitan. We could be dealing with more than one group, more than one race, you know?
Dunnan, can you set me as host on the watch together? As you finish this conversation, Siegfried, you tune back into listening to these individuals, and you say that you hear, "True, then aid us in the endeavor." We value your contribution, of course. We shall hold you blameless. At your leave, then. Yeah,
as
sound.
the top. It
You
just
hear nothing
depends.
else. Yeah.
Well, it seems like the complaining party has been forgiven of some slight that may have happened, and now they're working together. Whatever they're working on has to deal with our observation, though. And I just turned and shrugged to Helly and Dunnan. Well, we knew we were
Shrug back.
Anyway, should we try to talk with them?
I don't think so. I think we're being tested.
Hmm.
Is it why exactly?
I mean, to see
Because
if we're
If it disturb anything here?
I guess. I don't know.
Maybe
I-
others have?
I think we continue to do what we always do and try to. We're here to help 10. And if anyone asks us about it, we just be honest. I mean, up until this
We need
point,
to get the heck out of here.
Yeah,
So,
up
as
until
you
this
say,
point,
up until this point,
Yeah.
the sound of cracking and splitting wood sort of rends through the space for a moment. About a second, and then fades.
that may have been the other party.
No?
Anyways, I say we know why we're here, and we're not here to harm anyone. I have faith that we will be able to prove to other people this,
Not if they try to harm us.
obviously. But as of now, that the voice has clearly given orders to just observe. So I say we let them observe us and come to their own conclusions.
Sounds fine
Marcus,
for
can
me.
you go to the Watch Together in Discord and make me the host? I've made you the
Oh.
host.
Sorry, I'll just...
Yeah, for some reason when it times out, it makes a random person the host.
I'll
It's very
just leave the
irritating.
activity.
Should I leave as well?
No, hold on. There we go.
Nice, yeah.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
so confused.
I was just dragging you guys to the different chat to force the host to change. Siegfried, as the individual, telling this to all of your compatriots, I'd like you to roll me a Wisdom and Constitution saving throws. Both saves.
For your do I get boons from being near Dunnan? A bonus?
Roll me a d10 on 6 or higher, yes. You happen to be within range. No.
Not in within
Just
range.
based on how you guys were structured at the moment of the conversation. Right. So con failed. Wisdom did pass. In the midst of this conversation that you're having, Siegfried, a beam of purplish energy strikes you. Followed in immediate succession by one of pink energy. You resist this sort of startling effect that sort of rushes through you for the brief moment, but you do take the damage from the failure. You take 16 points of necrotic damage. I'm going to move you guys to a map, and then I'll need you to roll into initiative.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna slap the shit out of someone.
I believe that should move you all to the map. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Let me grab my combat music.
Do we see what direction the beams came from?
You did. Hold on, please.
Okay.
Doing a lot of things at once. There's the initiative tracker. Helleras is already in it.
Chaos follows him. Donald Trump said
I don't understand why Siegfried always rolls so well on initiative.
Because
You
he's
don't know.
brave.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't jinx it.
That's fine. Okay. I don't know if he's brave or just not the best. Just lucky. Okay. Dunnan and Helleras, I need you both to roll me a d20, please. Okay.
Believe so I'm still concentrating on comprehend languages, so I'll make a con save for the damage I just took.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Because comprehend languages is concentration.
I believe so, yeah.
So here
It is not.
con
There's
save.
no concentration. It just happens.
Okay.
Yep, you're good.
Oh, cool. All right. Awesome. Never mind then.
All right. The beams that struck you, Siegfried, came from the north on this map.
All right. So it came from like the tree line above us.
Somewhere up there, yeah.
Okay.
Get this set properly. I had asked the two of you to roll because one of the enemies also rolled a 10, so I needed to figure out who was in what order. So, works out. All right. Top of the order is Aeolus. Now, all of you were made aware by Siegfried that there's something present. None of you have the surprise condition at this point. You were aware that there was something that might be dangerous nearby. I'm saying that none of you are surprised.
I also believe Aeolus has alert.
Well,
Yeah,
that even those of you who lack said feat are not surprised. So, initiatives to you, Aeolus. What will it be?
Do I currently see the creature down here, or is the tree stump blocking my way?
Well, it's not a stump. That's the full trunk. I would say, yeah, you sort of see something sort of half peeking around the edge.
Okay. I'm going to quickly slice my hand, and I'm going to drop down to one knee, and very summoning style jutsu. I'm going to slam my hand down, and in this area, a fairy fire erupts from the ground in a crimson energy.
That's a dex save, if I recall correctly.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
It's exactly a 15, unfortunately.
God damn.
As this sort of burst like the spores of a crushed mushroom just sort of explode into the air for a moment. There's these sparkles that quickly fall and try to stick to any moving objects within the vicinity before fading, unable to draw more energy from a sapient creature. They find none.
I'll just look up, and remembering what happened with the Kenku, Aeolus is going to just shout, "We're not here to do any harm. Please don't make us do this."
What language do you shout this in?
He's just going to shout it in common
Okay, noted.
because he is unsure of what
Yeah.
language.
Common tongue. All good. All right.
And my turn.
Staying put.
Yep.
All right. The one to the south will float slightly more into your vision, and it looks like it might be one of Yarl's kin, as you get a full view of this creature, before firing 2 beams of energy towards you. I'd like you to make me a Constitution, actually 2 Constitution saving throws. Both beams strike you, but you manage to resist the effects. You do still take 7 points of necrotic damage on one of them. There was this bright yellow beam that flashes through the area for a brief moment, and then the dark purple beam again that you had seen strike Siegfried briefly. That dealt you. That's the one that deals necrotic damage. You've noticed. So you take 6, but 7. My apologies, but no other effects. Siegfried, around to you.
So Siegfried can't see shit right now. He just sees a bunch of darkness. It's very dark. So
I adjusted your dark vision to
yeah.
down to 30 feet because
Yeah.
you're not totally blind, but you don't have direct sunlight in the forest basically at any point. So
I did cast dark vision before we rested, and that lasted 8 hours.
that
but that might be
lasts
gone.
for the
Yeah.
rest.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, I've made the ruling before. If you're casting something prior to rest, it will not subsist past the completion of the rest, unless
Yes.
the duration is greater than 24 hours,
Okay. All right.
or
Yep.
like a 24-hour durations, that type of thing.
Unless it like specifically says 24 hours.
Yeah,
I assume that it ends with the long rest. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
There's no
So-
burning my spell slots to pre-buff myself for.
Yeah. Just freedom of movement, death ward.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things that do have effects like that.
Oh,
Like Foresight is a 24-hour duration. So
Yeah.
like you could cast Foresight every evening with your 8th level spell slot, and that's fine.
And also, I think Hero's Feast
Yeah,
like-
Hero's Feast is
that's
another thing
fun.
like that.
Yeah.
But
for most spells there it doesn't
yeah.
work like
it,
that.
it would have to have a duration greater than 8 hours, and the next up duration is 24 from that point.
So
Because it requires
knowing
the
that
8 hours for the long rest.
knowing that I got shot from the north, I'm just gonna go and crouch down beyond this stump a little bit,
Okay.
with my movement, and then to try and
All
get
of the
my.
stumps are full trunks, by the way. They're not,
Okay, oh.
You can't see over any.
Okay, so I'm just gonna like tuck behind that stump, or not the trunk, not the stump, and then to try and get myself some better vision, I would like to attempt to cast daylight
Ooh, nice. Okay.
and D100 roll coming up.
Yes, please. And where I need one from you as well, Aeolus. My apologies.
44.
Aeolus, you're fine. 44. 44. Unfortunately, the spell slot is consumed, and there's no discernible effect.
Okay. I
Besides
think
the next clock.
and with the bonus action, I am just going to go into archer form.
Nice. Would you like to attempt to fire an arrow, or? 'cause I
So let
believe
me. So
believe you
where did
shed
I
light.
start? Yeah.
right beneath Dunnan.
Okay. I just want to. So let me just get into archer form. So
Is it
I
20?
started below
20?
Dutton. So I moved up here. That was 5 feet. I'm gonna try and peek out around this.
Is archer form 20 and 20? Or
I-
the
Let me just check. I think it was 10 and 10, but sorry, I'm laying down right now, so I'm moving a little slow. Where is it? Starry form.
10 and 10. Yep. You're
Okay.
right. So used to everything in the game being like 2020.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So I 5, 10, 15, 25. Still don't see anything. 30. I still don't see
Yeah.
anything.
It seems like it's outside of your line of sight.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just stay here for now. That is my turn.
Okay. That'll then bring us to this one. That's 30. Okay, 30's there. Dunnan, the pup is getting a beam shot at it. I need the pup to make a wisdom saving throw. And Helleras, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh, mine. And what's your bonus for the pup? Is it +4?
I think Helly would also get Dunnan's aura for this save.
Yeah.
So, still probably not great though.
Yeah. Dunnan, what's your aura bonus? It's your
Sorry,
charisma mod.
5. I was
5.
double
Okay.
muted.
Oh, good. So Hellerast is an 11, and the pup is a 14. Okay, so the pup succeeds. Hellerast still fails. Hellerast, you are struck by a white beam of energy. Take no damage. You can take no reactions until the end of your next turn. On your turn, you cannot move. And we'll cover the rest of it when we come to your turn. Dunnan.
Oh shit. Okay.
Around to you.
Still seeing nothing, right?
Nothing that you notice. Aeolus is looking off to the southeast. And Helleras just got struck by a beam from over here somewhere.
I'll go over there then. I'll just look over.
Alright.
Haha.
You've spotted a few enemies. You are now
Alright.
in between the two of them.
Perfect. Over here. How far are they away? Like 25.
I think 30.
Sorry. Crap. Well, I'll just swing my hammer then and throw it. With
It's long
disadvantage.
range, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Disadvantage throw is still a throw.
Yeah. Let's pick this one.
Okay. So that's the one to try to hit the pup. 12 is miss. Goes wide on the return as it flies back to your hand. Second hit.
Yeah. I'll get close to you.
15 will hit for 7 points of bludgeoning.
Yep.
As the creature sort of just carefully floats to the side and then reorients itself. It doesn't realize the hammer is swinging back past through the space and just clocks
just
on
imagine
and
it
does a
flies.
somersault.
Just imagine it flies by him over the head and just he thinks, haha, you dodge it, and then when it comes back, the hammer hits it at the back of the head.
Does like a little sort of pirouette in the air as it spins around from the impact.
Yeah.
So,
seeing that Secret had trouble casting, he's gonna refrain from casting anything. So.
Alright, that brings us to the last of this group that you see at the moment. It's going to pull back slightly. And it's going to send both beams at you, Dunnan. I need a con save and a wisdom save, please.
in which order?
Either or, doesn't
Uh,
matter.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. So the wisdom save, you are totally fine. Con save, you barely succeeds. You take half damage, which is ooh, nice.
That was
10 points of necrotic damage, half from 20.
That's a bad con roll for Dunnan.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a real low con roll.
Mhm.
As the purple and pink rays struck you, you had this brief wave of fear try to wash over you, but you're not afraid of these things. You've met Yarrow, and Yarrow's quite a bit bigger than them, and has many more eyes. That'll bring us to Hellerast. All right, Hellerast. What weapons do you have?
Okay,
You have the solid steel mitigator, right?
I do.
Make an attack roll with it,
Uh,
please.
Okay.
Dunnan, the pup takes 14 points of damage. As
Oh
Hellerast,
shit.
in your confusion from the ray that struck you, you realize there's an enemy directly behind you, and you have the drop on it. You pull the solid steel mitigator, slashing through the air. Only then do you hear the yelp of Dunnan's pup. You've just attacked. You still have your bonus action that you can choose to use however you so see fit. But your action and you have no movement.
Okay. Pulling Corin. That's
Alright,
it.
Sounds good. Go ahead and pull her out as you realize what this beam did to you and take stock of it. Which one is this? Alright. Prior to Aeolus, the sound of the space is split with the cracking of wood. And striding out from the tree nearest to you, Siegfried, is on the wrong layer. There we go. This creature that looks like they're made out of, that she is made out of the living wood of the tree itself, that is shifting and moving as if a humanoid. She is going to gesture at you,
Riot.
Siegfried. I would like you to make me a Constitution saving throw as she points at you. It's a very good save. You feel the life ebb out of you for a moment. You don't take full damage, you take half damage. So half of 66 is 33 points of necrotic damage as she points her finger at you and pronounces your demise.
Okay, let me just...
In a language actually you understand, because you have comprehend languages up.
I think I can use Stone's Endurance still on this because it's just whenever I take damage.
And you take damage. Yeah, it doesn't say when you are hit by an attack. So I would
So
say
I'm
yeah.
going to use my reaction to Stone's Endurance.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
So
yeah. So
so
33
it
moves
is-
to 23.
okay.
Add your
And I
Constitution
want to.
modifier. Yeah. You got
Yeah. I think my modifier is
It
added
is
in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is 23
Yeah.
damage.
Yep. So
And then I want to show her that I want to make it obvious that I'm turning to stone, just like she's coming out of the wood.
Are you trying to make it look like you're petrifying, or are you just trying to, like?
I'm just trying to show her that I'm just trying to show her that I'm part of the elements, as she is like trying to make some sort of connection with her, like trying to make it obvious that I'm part of. I have a bit of elemental energy in myself, just like she does.
Okay, I'll say make a performance check for me.
Okay.
With disadvantage, you are in conflict, but I'll give you the opportunity to make a performance check here.
Absolutely.
Okay. You don't see any noticeable or discernible change in this baleful gaze she has cast upon you, but you feel like you made a fair show of it. Maybe it sways her, maybe it doesn't. You're not sure. As we come around to Aeolus.
Was I able to hear this creature enter the battlefield?
Yeah, you heard the crack of the wood as this individual left it, and this pronouncement of some type of magic, and Siegfried being affected by it.
All right. Well,
Speaking of,
Aeolus is going to spin,
one
seeing
sec, hold
that
on.
Siegfried.
I need to roll wild magic.
Ah, yes, wild
Oh,
magic.
good. Okay. Got an 82.
Seeing Siegfried being harried, Aeolus is going to spin his attention. As a bonus action, I'm going to activate one of my Crimson Rights.
Yeah, go for it.
So I take 5 necrotic. Activating lightning. I'm going to attack with the katana. Or attempt to.
Alright. 17. 17 does hit. You can feel as you swing, there's the very faint magical barrier around this individual, but you do still find contact. For 12 points, right?
Yes.
Nice.
And
She passes that. Okay.
action, bonus action, movement. I'll just look to the creature, and once again, we're not enemies. Do not make us enemies. And that's my turn.
Okay. That'll bring us to the spectator to the south, who is going to launch a beam at the pup and a beam over the pup at Hellerast. Hellerast needs a wisdom save. The pup needs a con save.
Sorry, the pup needs what?
Constitution saving throw, please.
I don't think Helia succeeded on a single wisdom save this campaign.
Oh
She
my
is the
gosh.
dumbest bitch.
Okay. The pup passes, so it takes
Intelligence
half
for
damage
nine.
from the wounding ray. So the pup takes 9 necrotic damage. And then Hellerast, you were affected by fear this time. All of your attack rolls, alright. Pardon me, for the next minute, you can repeat the save at the end of each of your turns. Your attack rolls are at disadvantage, and you cannot move closer to the one in the south. In any way. Alright?
Okay.
But you can repeat the save on each of your subsequent turns to end the effect. It brings
Okay.
us to Siegfried.
So, seeing that happy that Aeolus is still trying to negotiate, he is going to use his action to activate his moss hide troll belt and cast bark skin on himself if he can.
Nice, okay. Barkskin. Okay. Roll me a D100, please.
Fuck.
38.
I've never been happier to have the Blood Hunter stuff not magical.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
The charge of the magical artifact is consumed. You do not gain the benefits of Barkskin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try and speak to her then. I'm like, please. I assume I'm speaking in our old language. My friends are merely defending themselves. You're attacking our pack. We are not enemies. We weren't even trying to trespass. We stayed on the trail. We did not go into the garden.
You're speaking common, you said?
I have my comprehend languages on, so I
That-
don't think I know.
That's
What?
not tongues, so
Okay.
She
see.
doesn't necessarily understand you if she doesn't speak common.
Okay.
The-
Let me just check.
Yeah. It allows
Yeah.
you to understand language, but not for languages you speak to be understood.
I start speaking in Giant.
Giant? Okay.
Yeah. And I'm trying to get this message to her in Giant, if she
Okay.
understands. Because I know Giant. Siegfried knows the stories that the Giants have some sort of primordial root. So he's just fucking reaching
Okay.
at the moment.
Panicked
yeah,
reach.
yeah.
Okay.
And then
That's
he
the
is going to
action.
try.
Yeah.
Yep, he's the action, and then I'm gonna move this way. Sorry, fuck, I keep losing track of my movement. I think I was right here. 5,
Yeah.
10, 15, 20, 25. Where the fuck is this guy? I still don't see him.
Yeah. The perpetual twilight of the
Yeah.
forest is not the most friendly thing to you.
Yeah, so I'm not going to attack.
Okay, you're not going to use the bow at all.
Yeah, no, that is my turn.
Okay.
I'm just gonna raise my hand at her and show her I can attack her, and then that I'm choosing not to, and then ending my turn.
Okay. Dunnan, the spectator that you threw a hammer at that just finished pirouetting, is
Sure.
going to immediately fire 2 beams at you. I would like 2 Constitution saves, please.
Hammer time.
Constitution saves, 2.
Yes, 2 of them. The necrotic beam of purple energy you succeed against. You take 9 points instead of the full 18. The other beam is this. Which one's this one? This was the yellow beam. My apologies. As it strikes you, you feel it try to seize your limbs and prevent you from moving, but you resist the effect.
I push through.
It is then going to float back 30 feet and be over a small pond of some sort. As we come around to you.
Well, oh no, it's bonked away.
Yeah, why would it stay close to you?
Well, it matters not. I'll go back to the group. I see the. Do I hear that creature that Theodorus is fighting? Do I get?
You heard it. You heard the sound that it spoke some language. Siegfried Siegfried, you did recognize it as at least one of the previous speakers of the voices that you understood.
You definitely would have heard at least Siegfried trying to speak with this thing right now.
Yeah. But if you don't speak
All
Giant,
right.
you don't know what Siegfried said.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm gonna. How far is that? Okay, I'll move over to here and throw my hammer at the creature.
Sure, go for it.
Do I try? No, I'm not gonna try. Not with disadvantage this time.
Yep, straight roll. 21 hits. 9 points. Second attack.
Then I look over at Siegfried. Do we put it down or not? After the first throw.
Siegfried's shaking his head. No, stop! But he's speaking in Giant right now, so he might not understand.
Flip the switch to Giant in his head, and he's like, "Oh no, oops, I'm in the wrong
And then,
language."
and then he's just holding his hand out, shaking it. Don't.
I've done it,
Also
I've thrown
hits.
it
Yeah.
twice.
I'm just playing that way because I think, well, I have to use my reaction to talk to Dunnan, correct? Out of my turn? Or...
It depends on what you're saying. Like, if you're trying to say, no, stop.
Yeah, I'm just yelling out, no, stop. Stop it.
I think Talent would have thrown anyway, since Siegfried looks pretty hurt, and Talent just assumes it comes from this creature, so he's pissed off.
Alright. This one is
Like, guys, I don't need it. Everyone's
That's it.
not saving right now.
All right. This finisher is going to shoot a beam at the glowing light that is Siegfried. Con save, please. And a beam at the pup. Wisdom save, please. Siegfried, you pass. You take half damage from the necrotic, which was actually a terrible roll of 9, so you take 4 points of damage.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna try and Stone's Endurance again.
sure.
Sorry,
I
used
suspect
one.
you will take 0 damage, reducing 4 to
Hopefully.
something. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was
Barely.
a bad roll. So
You take nothing.
5 damage.
No,
Oh,
you
I take nothing. Okay.
It was 9.
I took half. Yeah, it was at 9.
9
Okay.
was the full damage. That wasn't the half.
Okay. I
Yeah.
thought 9 was the half damage. All right.
No, yeah. And then Dunnan, I need a wisdom save for the pup.
You got this, pup.
Again, too, I'm trying to show this person that I'm like her, that I'm turning. There's a bit of stone in me, just like there's a bit of wood in her. So hopefully it gets across.
Yeah. And then the pup does benefit from Dunnan's aura because it's within 10 feet. Dunnan, wisdom save.
Yeah. Sure.
Pup is fine. Pup was tried to make made to turn and run, but it is made of sterner stuff.
No, it would have run anyway. After it got hit by, I think, one beam, the last beam, he would have run away with 3 hit points. So
Okay.
I guess it would just run behind one of these big trees down there.
Sure. Pup runs that way. Pup realizes there's another thing down that way.
Oh.
Should we come around to
No,
Hellrest?
No,
Hellrest, you
Okay.
cannot move south. Other than that,
It just
Cannot
be-
move south. And are we trying not to hit these things or trying to hit these things? Why is Siegfried screaming no? He's still
saying
trying
no.
to.
He's saying no, not to hit this thing, but I haven't said anything about the other things. So if that's up
Not to
you.
hit her, but to hit. I can hit the.
I didn't mention anything about the other things, so that's up to you.
Okay.
But I don't.
this-
Siegfried doesn't, at least for you, doesn't seem to be caring about the other things. Mainly about
No.
person.
Helly's gonna hit this one next to Siegfried with Blight
which one?
and see what happens.
Ping.
Oh, the one. What is that next to Siegfried?
That's the one. That's
Oh, that's a tree stump.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking
That's
to.
the
So
one
that's the one
Siegfried
I'm.
said don't touch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
So,
this one
I-
over here by Aeolus, then.
Is the one that you're not supposed to touch.
Yeah. That is the one I
Okay.
told people not to touch. So
Where is
Uh,
a beholder? For the love of
Uh,
God.
There's one in Urcrypt.
I don't, yeah,
Okay.
these are players, so you might just not see them, but you know Aeolus was fighting somewhere over here. Same with Dunnan.
Yeah, so,
So-
I can see something
so
barely
you
up
can see
there.
something on the northern side. Yeah, up here.
Okay. So Helly's gonna move north. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not too far away. She's gonna be out of Dunnan's aura, but she's gonna hit this one with Blight and see what
Blight.
happens.
Okay, that's a con save, I recall, right?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and roll some damage. I believe Blight's half damage no matter what. 42. Jeez. So it rolled a 7. So how do you want to do this?
Oh, okay. A bolt of multicolored energy. Strands woven together of different colors. Hits him. And there he goes.
As this bolt
Ha!
sort of winds its way through the space, roll me a D100. Ooh, lovely. Hold on.
Oh shit.
That might be a rebound one. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Wild magic
I need
takes
you
it,
to
takes it away.
also roll me a con save.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. As the bolt strikes this spectator, you can see it slowly become eviscerated as every ounce of water is drawn out of its form. In the matter of a few seconds, it is rapidly mummified by this reverse liquefaction. And then presently just vanishes into dust as the last bits are drawn out of it. The magic of its force that holds it aloft fails, and it fades into dust prior to ever even hitting the ground. The force of the air as it starts to fall enough to break it apart. You then feel the sap of the magic and the weave draw upon you. You take 21 points of necrotic damage as you are also affected by your own blight.
Wonderful.
I love wild magic.
All right. That's your movement and your action. Anything with your bonus?
Yeah. No, Corin's got nowhere near it. No, I'm fine.
All right. Sounds good. That brings us to this dryad-like creature who is going to spend 5 feet of her movement and vanish inside of the tree. And reappear. As you are standing there shaking from the effect of this spell, Hellerast, you see the wood woman rise up out of the dead trunk on the ground here and stare at you. She speaks something in a language. Siegfried, you recognize it. Interlopers are not welcome in the Queen's Wood. You have forfeit your rights. Let's see.
Élenet mit Dashia.
Hellerast. I would like you to make me a... let me check the D100 first beforehand. As she intones this magic. Ooh, lovely. I need to roll... I'm gonna roll a D8 for this. Okay. 7. I don't know why I did 1. Dunnan. As she intones this spell pointing at Hellerast, the wild magic surges and it changes the target to you. I need you to roll me an intelligence saving throw.
Sure. That's my lowest save, +4. Sweet.
13. Okay. As she gestures out at Hellerast and intones the components of this spell, Dunnan, you are affected by Feeble Mind. Your intelligence and intelligence and charisma scores become 1 until this effect is removed from you. Let me adjust this on your stat sheet.
Yes, please.
What's your current intelligence? 8.
8,
And what's your current charisma?
20.
Okay. So on the back sheet, the back end of the sheet, I'm adding minuses.
I'm watching.
to force them lower, but that way when those minuses are removed, they'll default back to normal in that middle column. You'll see where I added them.
Yeah, yes. I
Um,
think I did.
you cannot cast spells, you cannot speak.
Okay. I just... Whatever I do, I don't
You,
know.
you are a ball of instinct at this point, for all intents and purposes, Dunnan. So however you determine Dunnan's instincts will guide him, that's fine.
I think he just stares up in this drooling.
Sure. Dunnan's instinct is to drool? Sure. Whatever you want to determine Dunnan's instincts are going to be, that is the entire force of how Dunnan behaves at this moment.
I think he's... Yeah.
Aeolus, around to you.
Seeing the wood woman disappear, and
You did hear, pardon me, I neglected this, my mistake. You did hear the crack of wood where she reappeared, which was up northeast of Hellerast. You gather she's maintaining this tree stride ability. You can tell it's some degree of magical effect, and it is the same sound that you heard previously.
Okay. At a quick glance, can Aeolus see that Dunnan is temporarily stunned?
He sort of dropped his hammer arm, which is unlike him. I would say you've traveled with Dunnan enough that you don't need to succeed on insight checks. He's under the effect of something, and something that has totally lowered his guard for a moment.
Alright, I'm gonna run by him and give him a quick slap and just shout, "Get your head out of your ass!" And I'm going to push back my cloak, and I'm going to whisper the command word for the ghost lantern to shed 30-foot bright light and 30 feet of dim light.
Okay. 30 and 30?
Yep.
Nice. That's, I think, what this fight needs, though. Is that a bonus?
Yes.
Alright, there we go. Got some light going.
Alright, and then I'm going to shout out
You no
for the
longer
group.
frightened, Hellerast.
Nice.
Nice. And then I'm going to shout out to the group. Don't lose your heads now. Focus them down. And I am going to... Oh, that's a bonus action. That's my turn.
Okay. That'll bring us to the spectator to the south, which is going to target Siegfried. Siegfried, I need a Constitution save and actually 2 con saves. It's going to try to paralyze and wound you.
Oh, no.
You're fine. The wounding ray, I don't know how you're getting lucky on your rolls, but this one did 7 max, halved to 3.
Nice. I'm gonna Stone's Endurance that as well.
Oh my
Fuck these guys.
Sure.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I'm good. Aeolus, Siegfried is angry now. He's fucking done trying to negotiate. There you go.
Yeah, you take nothing. Enjoy your nothing.
I give the beholder a finger or whatever it's called, spectator.
Spectators, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That'll bring us to your turn.
So I'm going to move in because something's obviously wrong with Dunn, and you said we don't need
Absolutely,
to
yeah.
do like insight. So I'm just gonna try and I'm gonna put my body between, try to run up to him, and then I am going to attempt to cast Dispel Magic on him
Okay.
at a level
roll me a
3.
D100.
Yep.
Because you are
So
casting a spell.
Yep.
Oh, no. Oh no, I just realized what's possible.
50. Ooh. I don't actually know which side 50 falls at. The spell functions normally, but you are now coded in Fairy Fire.
Okay.
Siegfried. It'll just tag you with purple for that. Roll me 1d4, please. For the next 3 rounds. So the end of each turn, not this one, just reduce the purple pip by 1 until the Fairy Fire fades.
Oh, not this turn. My next turn.
At the end of your next turn, reduce it to 2. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So it's 3 rounds starting from this point. But the spell does function normally. You feel the spell try to latch on to whatever is affecting Dunnan, and it has no effect. Whatever has affected your companion that has caused him to drop his guard is something that Dispel Magic, because you are certain that your magic did actually pass through and correctly, at least to a degree, get past the wild magic nature of this environment, it still has no grip upon Dunnan.
Okay.
You're make me an Arcana check, I would say, as part of this.
How are we looking, Siegfried?
Siegfried is swearing in giant.
That's frightening.
Oddly enough,
So-
swears a giant. Everyone knows.
So I used the Blessing of the Trials yesterday, right?
I'll say I believe so. Yeah.
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 I can't remember. So I'm gonna use my Blessing of the Trials ability on this Arcana check.
Survival, nature, or
Oh no, yeah, it
interaction
doesn't
with
work.
so no.
Yeah, it doesn't. It does not work that way. Never mind. Here comes the
Yeah.
Arcana check.
I believe you rolled woe this day, correct?
Yeah. I have that marked at least.
11. You're not sure, but your best guess is you need restorative magic, not disjunctive magic. Something has been stripped from him, not something is affecting him. But that'll be it. Anything with bonus?
I just say, fuck. We need 10. We need 10. Can I use the rest of my movement to drag Dunnan this way, and put him like on
Dunnan,
this side of the tree?
in your instinctive nature, will you allow yourself to be dragged somewhere?
Nope. I will make myself as heavy as possible. I've played the armor on and I'm a heavy dude, so.
Okay.
All right.
Nope.
If I can't move, he also has the armor. I think that makes him stick
Yeah.
to the ground.
Yeah,
fuck.
you
Yeah.
literally can't. If he
Yeah,
chooses not to move, you literally can't move.
I literally can't do it.
Yeah.
So fuck. Let me think.
Like moving a huge boulder.
Yeah. As dense as his intelligence score is now.
Okay. So I realize now that Dunnan can just be spooked like an animal if something bad happens, and he might just run into the forest.
It's up to you.
So
You have a
I'm
bonus
gonna
left.
be-
What do you do?
Sorry. Okay. Can I give Dunnan some alcohol and just tell him everything's gonna be okay with the bonus action?
Sure.
I'm just trying to calm him down a little bit.
Rummage around, or grab
Yeah.
a wineskin and shove it in
Yeah.
Dunnan's hands.
And I'm just, it's all right, Dunnan. Just have a drink. Everything's gonna be okay.
Oh my gosh.
Just try and calm him down a little bit.
Okay.
Dunnan, do you feel more instinctually calm
Dunnan-
now that you've had some wine?
He's gonna instinctually put it in his mouth and drink like a baby on a.
He
on a
also
bottle of
doesn't
milk.
understand language, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess with the rest of my movement, just move towards the beholder, spectator. Sorry.
To the south. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, to the south.
All right.
That's the turn.
And the one to the east. I'm going to take the opportunity, seeing that the wood woman is now working, and it is floating away. That brings us to Dunnan and the pup.
Dana's gonna suck on that wineskin.
Okay. It's
And
soothing.
ruin.
What's the pup
Yeah.
doing? The pup tried to run away and then ran smack dab into another spectator.
Since it is cyclically or telepathically connected to me, does it feel the change in me?
Yeah, it is now the smarter member of this partnership.
Great. Then it's gonna come over to me and comfort me and lick my hands or whatever.
I love it. Okay.
And help me put the wineskin to my mouth.
Yeah. You're having this lovely concoction of wine and pup saliva. We
Yep,
come around
awesome.
to Hellerast with the this wood witch on deck.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, the wood witch is within blight range, isn't she? Or I can
30
move.
feet?
I can move close enough to put her in blight range.
Yeah, I think she's within 30. Yeah, she's within 30 feet of you.
Okay. Gonna try it again. Even if it backfires on me, I'm still pretty healthy, so
That's a con save, yes?
yes.
Con save and a D100, please. Low roll. That's actually pretty good. 8d8, yeah. 24. Oh my. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll me a d8, please. If you get a 1, reroll. Sorry, if you get an 8, you'll reroll it. But roll me a d8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So same thing that happened to her feeble mind. It's redirecting to a random target. I would like you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Which does succeed because Corin uses your saves. So Corin would take 16 points of necrotic damage, which I believe is nothing to her, correct?
Nothing.
Right.
Zippo.
So
Zilch.
the magic redirects and pulls it onto Corin's form, but she is fine. Good attempt,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
almost hit. One less. If you rolled a 3, it would have been on Nails.
No.
Been fine.
Yeah,
All
she's
right.
not going to use blight anymore.
Let's bring us to the Dryad.
32 necrotic damage? That's not half my hit points.
Alright. She is going to tree stride and shift from here to here, cracking out of the tree and emerging with like sort of one step out, one leg still in the tree, ready to sort of retreat if needed. And she is going to pull from her waist sort of this coiled lash of a vine, and strike it at you, Aeolus. 14 to hit. It's terrible.
Oh,
14.
that does not hit.
Does not hit. I think she's going to be apprehensive about that. She's going to tree stride again. And end up down here, cracking out of this one, near the other spectator. And that'll be her turn. And that'll bring us to Aeolus. We'll do one more round through initiative, and then if the fight's not concluded, we'll pick up at the top of next initiative. So this will be last round for the session.
Alrighty.
Aeolus.
Aeolus is going to move closer and is going to look towards the dryad-like creature and will say in infernal, "We gave you a chance. Now you're pissing me off. And I don't think I want you to go anywhere." And is going to amplify Blood Curse of the Binding.
Okay. That's a strength save.
Yes.
Okay. Strength saving throw. Speed reduces to 0 and can't use reactions like next turn. And then amplified is it lasts until it saves, right? For 1 minute.
Yep.
Okay. That is a 17. What's your DC?
14.
I'm gonna woe her.
Ooh. Okay. So you need a 4. 4 or better.
Bam.
Ooh.
Okay, that takes her from 17 down to 13. No damage associated with this, correct?
Right.
Okay. So she is bound. See black veins sort of sprout along the wood-like pattern of her form and sort of blend into the tree that she's half emerged from at the moment. So she is locked in place.
Ready. And for my action, I'm going to use a handful of my movement to just rush straight up to her and take 2 swipes with the katana.
Okay. 20 will hit. 16 will also hit. So, did you stow your katana at any point? Or no? You still hide it out, right?
He'll have it out, yeah.
Okay. So, 9, 17, and 26, 31. I think my math is right there.
Yep.
Does the blood curse prevent her from taking reactions as well, or no?
Yes. She cannot use reactions until the end of my next
your
turn.
next. Okay. The curse creature curse lasts for 1 minute. So she can't do reactions period until she saves as well. It's not just movement, right?
On a failure, the creature's speed is reduced.
To
So
0 and can't use reactions. Curse lasts for 1 minute.
until the end.
Okay, so I'm guessing she can't do reactions at all. Period. So cool.
Okay.
All right. That'll then bring us to the spectator with Siegfried on deck. Spectator, absolutely beaming Aeolus. Where's my stat block? There's my stat block. Aeolus, I need 2 con saves, please. You do take half damage from the wounding ray. So that's 15 reduced to 7. As it tries to paralyze you in place as you're assailing this dryad. But that is it, and it is going to also slowly start retreating from this scuffle. Siegfried, around to you.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to Aeolus and I'm gonna attempt to cast Cure Wounds on him.
Sure.
Uh,
D100.
Yep, let's do that first.
It cures the dryad.
43.
I've been
Oh,
doing terrible.
you guys are rolling really poorly on the wild magic.
I lose the spell.
Yeah, that 43 is a lost spell slot. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. That's what happens with wild magic.
Yeah. You just happen to
I'm
roll
going-
in that thing
Yeah.
like 4 times
Yeah.
the same session. It's not a big window, but
So yeah. It's just unlucky day. Last time we were doing pretty well on it, minus the fairy fire.
Yeah. Just how it is.
It's just how it is. With my bonus action, I'm gonna launch an arrow at her.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I'm like, no wild magic for this, bitch. I say that in Druidic.
43. Go ahead with the attack roll.
Yeah. There we go.
13.
Crap.
13 does not hit, actually.
Yeah.
You
I'm
speaking and pulling this back gives you time to sort
Yeah.
of dodge out of the way.
That's fine.
Dunnan and the pup. Dunnan, what's going on in the world of Dunnan?
Oh, he's probably just having the nicest dream, like in. If you ever seen Asterix and Obelix, I don't know if you guys know that over in America. It's like two French.
The Vikings, right?
I've
Yeah.
seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a really old one where he's on that island with beautiful women and drinking and wild boar meat, and he's just in his happy place.
Lovely. The pup is likewise enjoying himself, I'm sure.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. That brings us to Hellerast with the Dryad Witch on deck. What about they?
Okay. Just gonna move close enough to be able to see. So she'll move over here. And she's gonna, let's see. I'm aiming for her. I'm gonna hit her with a guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt. Sounds good. Go for a D100 roll, please.
Okay.
I'd say you have line of sight at this point. 57. Spell functions normally. You're good.
Nice. Okay, so let's see. I do have a level 3 slot left. Let's go for it.
22 to hit. Does connect for 25 points of damage. Very hefty, and she is now wreathed in guiding bolt energy until the next attack.
Crap, after my last turn, my fairy fire went down by 1, right?
Yeah, so if you
Nice.
just hover over the purple and then click 2, it'll change.
Okay. Hover over the purple, click 2. There we go.
Yep, that's how you add numbers on any of the pips.
Cool.
Alright, anything else on the rest?
Nope.
Alright. That'll bring us to the witch, who is very much not about what's happening right now. I need a measuring tool. I think I just cleared initiative. Move the initiative off for a sec. There we go. Sorry about that. Right next to my measuring tool. This is corner, linger, cone, rounded. Okay. So, is Corin immune to fear?
You would ask me that.
Yeah. Your stat block.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay. I would like the pup, Corwin, not Hellerast, Siegfried, and Aeolus to all make wisdom saving throws. I have to roll a D100 just to be safe.
Shit.
She is now wreathed in fairy fire as well. That's okay with me. Siegfried, you succeed. Aeolus, you succeed. Corwin fails. And the pup.
Needs to roll.
Wisdom.
No bonus because I'm the dumb fuck right now.
The
Not
pup.
only are you dumb, but you're ugly as well.
Awesome.
The pup and Corbin are affected by fear the spell. So each of them must move away from the dryad every time they have the opportunity to their max movement. And then as soon as once they get far enough away that they can no longer see her and break line of sight, they can start repeating the save.
I do have it too, so I just posted it.
Yeah, thank you.
But take the dash actions. So the pup
The
runs
pup
like
can take
80
dash,
feet.
yeah. Corin doesn't have a dash action, so. But
100 feet it runs away. Jesus.
well, the pup will start making saves again immediately in that case. Then. End of the turn, though, the witch gets to attempt to repeat the save. It's a strength save, yes?
Yes,
16. DC?
it saves.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll them again.
Okay. What's the DC that needs to get down to 14, right? 3
15.
or better. 15?
Yeah, I haven't updated it since we leveled.
Ah, okay.
Did that work?
So that takes it down to a 13. It's a failure.
Nice. Nice.
Okay.
Well, putting in work these last 2 sessions.
And it has 2 turns of Fairy Fire on it for that spell. That'll then bring us to... That's Blood Curse the Binding. And then top of the order for next session will be Aeolus. We'll pick up there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All
We're
right.
so lucky Dunnan was out of range
Okay, guys.
Of fear? Yeah.
of that. Yeah, you're so lucky.
I mean-
Dunnan would have just
I mean,
run
it's a
into the
wisdom
jungle.
save. He has a decent chance of passing wisdom saves, like still, because his
Well-
wisdom wasn't feeble-minded, but
Yeah.
still, like.
I don't know if I'm
Oh,
not immune against fear. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't know if you are or not. Are you?
I don't know. The whole stick about Dana is like fear and stuff, and I don't know why not, but
I
Doesn't
I know.
say
I,
anywhere.
I think at a certain level, paladins get different immunities, but I don't know if fear is one
I think
of them.
it's a level 11 aura. Can it be?
Sounds about right. Oh well.
Oh.
Good session, everybody. Talk next week, and
Okay.
we'll pick up there
Yeah.
in initiative.
Right.
Hopefully, we'll have Tang also to try to solve Dunnan's problem.
Yeah, I'm like, we need a cleric. That's all I
Danen is in a heavenly place right now, so
Dunnan's great. Yeah,
for him,
he's doing
for
fine.
him is everything is awesome.
All right.
All right,
Good session,
take
everybody.
care.